These are the 7 skills every man needs in life. Skills that decide how you handle pressure, money, conflict, and responsibility when real life shows up. Because if you lack any of these skills, it can quietly destroy your future, even if you're not seeing the effects right now. It starts small. Then one day you look back and realize you've been losing time, options, and respect without noticing. So in this video, I'm going to break down all 7 skills clearly, with real examples, and show you how to start building each one in a practical way. So you stop feeling unprepared, and you start moving like a man who's in control. Let's start now. 1. Emotional control. This is where most men fail. Let me start where nobody wants to start, because it exposes you. You can have money. You can have muscles. You can have a deep voice and confidence. But if you can't control your emotions, you are not strong. You're just dangerous to yourself. Because life doesn't destroy most men with poverty first. It destroys them with reaction. One disrespect and you explode. One argument and you start shouting. One woman pulls back and you start begging. One setback and you panic. And here's the part you must understand. If someone can trigger you, they can control you. That's why a reactive man is easy to manipulate. People bait him. They pull him into drama. They make him prove himself. And he thinks he's being masculine. Here's what's going to happen in your life. You will be tested by people, by women, by stress, by pressure, by ego. And the man who stays calm is the man who stays in control. Now, why am I starting with this? Because once you have emotional control, you stop getting bullied by life. You stop moving like a scared man. And that leads to the next skill, the one that gives your calm weight. Skill 2, self-defense. This is a skill many men neglect, but it's essential. Because danger doesn't book an appointment. It comes unexpected. It's a surprise. And sometimes, no matter how humble and peaceful you are, you have no choice but to react. That's where this skill comes in. Not so you can go around looking for trouble. Not so you can act tough. That's childish. This is about one simple reality. You should be able to defend yourself when a situation arrives. And let's be honest, some men say, I'm peaceful. But deep inside, they know the truth. It's not peace. It's incapability. They don't stay calm because they're strong. They stay calm because they're hoping nothing happens. That's not confidence. That's luck. Real peace is different. Real peace is when you're calm because you know you can handle yourself if you must. You don't want violence, but you're not helpless. You're not frozen. You're not panicking. So don't lie to yourself. If you've never trained, if you've never learned basics from legit coaching, if you've never built your body in awareness, then you're not peaceful. You're unprepared. And as a man, being unprepared is expensive. Because one unexpected moment can cost you your safety, your dignity, and your future. So learn it the right way. Train properly, not to become violent, but to become capable. Skill 3, money management. This is a life skill they don't teach you. Let me be direct with you. If you don't learn money, you're going nowhere. Not because money is everything, but because money is the tool you use to build your life as a man. And the sad part is this. School doesn't teach you this. They teach you how to pass exams, how to memorize, how to behave. But they don't teach you how to handle income, control spending, build savings, avoid dumb debt, or create stability. So most men grow up with a childish relationship with money. They earn today, and they finish it today. They spend when they're emotional. They buy to impress. They borrow without a plan. They work hard but still stay stuck. And later they think life is against them. No. Life is just exposing what you never learned. Money management is a skill like driving. If you don't learn it, you'll crash your future. It means you understand basic things. How to track what comes in and what goes out. How to separate needs from ego. How to save consistently, even if it's small. How to plan your month so you're not surprised by bills. How to invest slowly instead of gambling. How to stop living like it will work out somehow. Because being a man is not just being strong, it's being responsible, and responsibility needs structure. So when you learn money, you're not doing it for people to respect you. You're doing it so you can grow, so you can build, lead, and stand on your feet without begging life for mercy. And once you start handling your money like a grown man, you'll notice something. Your decisions become clearer. Your stress reduces, and you stop living in panic mode. Which brings us to the next skill. Because life will always throw pressure at you, and you must know how to handle it. 4. Conflict de-escalation. Real strength is control. If you're a man, life will put you in conflict. Not because you want it, but because people push boundaries. And most men handle conflict in two childish ways. They avoid everything and look weak. They explode and look unstable. A mature man does a third thing. He controls the temperature. He speaks calmly. He doesn't panic. He doesn't argue like a woman. He doesn't beg to be understood. He keeps his dignity and ends nonsense early. And here's the truth. De-escalation is not weakness. De-escalation is leadership. Because the goal is not to win every moment. The goal is to protect the big picture, your freedom, your future, your reputation. A lot of men have destroyed their lives because they wanted to prove a point. A small argument, a small insult, and boom, police, court, injury, humiliation. A strong man doesn't give his future away for emotion. He knows how to exit. He knows how to calm things down. He knows when silence is louder than noise. Now here's the thing. Even if you manage conflict well, life will still expose you through one problem that destroys most men quietly. Consistency. 5. Discipline plus consistency. Most men are not failing because they're not smart. They're failing because they're not consistent. They start strong. They disappear. They get motivated. They fall back into comfort. They repeat the same cycle every year. Discipline is doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it, because your feelings will betray you. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll feel heartbroken. Some days you'll feel angry. But if your life depends on your mood, your life will never stabilize. Discipline is what makes you reliable, and reliability is what makes you respected. Now listen, a disciplined man doesn't need people to believe in him. He becomes proof. And when you become consistent, people start testing your boundaries. They start seeing how far they can go. That's why you need the next skill. Skill 6, communication. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Let's be straight. A lot of men lose respect because they don't know how to speak like a grown man. Not because they're too nice, but because they're unclear. They talk in hints. They joke when they're serious. They explain too long. They argue to be understood. And in the end, nobody hears them. This skill is simple. You must be able to communicate directly, without aggression, without fear, without over-talking. Here's what strong communication looks like in real life. When someone disrespects you, you don't start a debate. You say, "Don't speak to me like that." Then you stop talking. When someone keeps crossing a line, you don't lecture them. You say, "If it happens again, I'm done." And you mean it. When you want something, You don't pretend you don't care. You say, "This is what I want." Simple. Most men fail here because they're scared of being seen as controlling or too serious. So they soften everything until it has no weight. But listen, if your words have no weight, people will keep testing you. They'll keep misunderstanding you on purpose. They'll keep pushing because they can feel you won't stand on anything. And this is the part that separates men. A man who communicates well doesn't talk a lot. He talks once, clearly. Because communication is not about being loud. It's about being impossible to confuse. Now, when you master this, something changes. You don't need to force respect anymore. People start adjusting automatically. And that's exactly what the next skill is about. Presence. 7. Presence plus charisma. Yes, this is a learnable skill. Let me tell you something most people get wrong. Presence is not something you're born with. It's not magic. It's not luck. And it's not for only rich or famous men. Presence is a skill. You can learn it. That's why you've seen it happen. A man walks into a room and people notice. Not because he's loud, but because he has weight. And here's the real reason people feel that weight. He's trained his body, his voice, and his behavior to communicate one message. I'm solid. I'm not scared. I'm not seeking approval. Now listen. This skill is built in real life through small habits. Posture. You stand like a man who respects himself. Chest up, shoulders relaxed, no nervous movement. Eye contact. Not staring to intimidate. Just steady, calm eye contact, like you're comfortable in your skin. Voice control. Slower, clearer, not rushing. No over-talking. Silence. You don't fill every gap with words. You're okay with quiet. Energy. You don't perform. You don't try hard. You don't sell yourself. Real life. Some men enter a room and start talking too much, laughing too loud, trying to be liked. That kills presence. That screams neediness. A man with presence doesn't chase attention. He speaks when it matters. He moves like he belongs. And if you want the truth, presence becomes easy when you've built the other skills: emotional control, discipline, money control, clear communication. Because you stop acting confident, and you start being confident. So don't tell yourself, "I'm not that type of guy." You can learn this. And once you learn it, people stop trying you. Because they can feel you're not easily moved. That's presence. A man's life doesn't change because he watched a video. It changes when he takes one skill and trains it until it becomes him. So don't clap for this message. Apply it. Build yourself quietly. Stay consistent. Stay ready. If this spoke to you, like the video, subscribe and keep moving like a man with a future.